Welcome to my channel. My name is Kaz and I'm a healer and an intuitive. In today's video, we are going to ask the question, which chakra needs attention? I have representations of each chakra here. So we've got base chakra, sacral, solar plexus, heart, throat, third eye, and crown. What I'm going to do is I'm going to pop these chakras into a bag and pull them randomly. So I'm going to ask you to think of a number between 1 and 7. Now, the crystals won't come out in the order that you're thinking that maybe this is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They will come out in the order that I choose them. So think of a number between 1 and 7, and the groups will be labelled number 1 to 7. And within those groups, I will pull one of these crystals out of the bag blindly, and that will be the chakra that needs attention. I will also pop another couple of crystals, maybe 2 or 3, depending on what I'm feeling at the time, for messages about these chakras. And I'll give you a few minutes to have a think about that. You can pause the video here if you'd like to, or I'm going to put the numbers 1 to 7 on the screen. So if your eyes might be drawn to a certain number, or you may have already decided. Either way, I will see you in your reading. All right, group 1. I'm going to choose a random crystal. I'll do this up so I can't see from this bag, and this will be the chakra that you need to pay a little attention to. So we've got the heart chakra. I'm going to pull another couple of crystals to go with that, and we'll put them here, and then we might have a look at some of the messages that come through. Okay, there's a very obvious message here of joy. So what I'm feeling here is that there has been a hurt in the heart chakra in the past, for some of you in the very distant past, and you've kind of closed down a little bit because of that. There is fleeting senses of joy, but not a long period of joy where you actually do feel really joyous. Maybe you're kind of just hitting it, but not quite reaching it and sustaining that level of joy that most people would like to reach. And it is because of this hurt that needs to be relieved. For a lot of you, this is a past relationship. For some of you, it is the loss of a loved one. And you've not quite found yourself joyous enough to really engage and experience life. Yeah, there's a real heaviness around the heart, and also it may be that I was just struggling to breathe in. So the lungs are the organs of grief. So if you do have any lung problems, you may try to alleviate that by trying to bring some joy in. Let's see how we can do that. All right, I'm just hearing that there needs to be some release through tears. So some of you may have already cried a lot, but it's like the well keeps filling up again. It's a really, really deep pain that's buried right down, and you may be clearing the top 3/4 of the well, but there's still some at the bottom, and you know, when it rains it fills up again. So it may be something that perhaps is triggering you every now and then, and it's like that grief fills up the well again, and so there's then again more emotion to clear. So definitely crying here. I feel that some of you could benefit from some energy healing, maybe some sound healing, and for some of you maybe some chiropractic healing that might just loosen up some of that energy. I do have a healing on the heart chakra if you would like to go and view that. But I do feel that you will need some in-person help. Some of you may even need a grief counsellor if you haven't already gone down that road. But there's still you know, you're almost there with it, which is why you do sometimes feel moments of joy, but you're not quite in that state where you're able to sustain it. Yeah, the people around you have been helpful, but I really feel that you need someone who's impartial to help with the last bit of release of this pain. Okay, group 1, I hope that was helpful for you. If you'd like more of this content, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next reading. Welcome group 2. I'm just going to dive into this bag without looking to see what chakra comes out. We have the third eye chakra. So that's what needs attention at the moment. So let's see what we can do to help with that. I'm just going to grab a couple more crystals randomly. Alright, so we've got the Morgano calcite and we've got white howlite. Alright, let me just tune in and see what's going on here. Oh, okay, so I'm feeling that there's almost a fragmentation of the mind here. It might be that perhaps you've had something that has kind of tricked your mind in some way or another. It may be something that you thought was true, and now that your perception have changed, or you've changed something and that belief has gone, but the energy of it is still lingering. Or it may have been that you were tricked into something that you didn't want to do, and now you've changed your mind on that, and you've come to a realization that that wasn't for you, but some of that energy is lingering, and you're kind of flipping back and forth into should I do this, should I do that, is this still here, is it gone? So whatever it is that happens to pertain to you, some of you might have some depression maybe, or you might have experienced some mental illness in the past, or you might have had a reaction to some drugs, either prescribed or not, that has given you an altered perception on the world. So what I'm hearing about this is there's this deep cleansing and a healing that's going on. There's going to be a lot more love for self, where perhaps in the past you didn't really respect yourself and your own decisions and your own wishes, and you didn't really trust yourself either to make the decisions, or to follow your dreams, or to put up boundaries against other people as well. I feel like there's probably a little bit of self-damage here and self-hurt that's gone in the past, and it does stem from something from childhood, and that is the primary cause here that does need to be healed, because it's perfectly able to be healed either with conventional medicine or with alternative medicine. You just got to find the right practitioner for you. For some of you, I'm hearing that song, I Can See Clearly Now the Rain Is Gone. So it's like something is lifting from you. For some of you, I feel that you may have even had an entity attached to you that an energy healer or someone is able to remove, or has just removed for you. And it's like you're starting to see the world through new eyes. Some of you aren't quite there yet with that, but for those of you who have been through something like that and had the entity removed, it's some of that energy is lingering. I see that the cords have been cut, but there's still some healing to do in that area. And it really is a real purging and a cleansing going on, and then that real connection to heart space as well. For those of you who've got psychic gifts, I feel that perhaps some of those gifts have been manipulated either in this lifetime or other lifetimes, and now that perhaps you're a little bit scared to open them up to the world. I'm getting a really strong sense of Atlantean times here. So some of you might have lived through the last fall of Atlantis, when there was a lot of manipulation of energy and power. So it may be that pain lingers from those lifetimes where perhaps you abused your psychic power, or you were abused because of your psychic power. So some of that is lingering, but like I said, it is clearing and purging, and you're coming back to a space of love here. Okay, group 2, I hope that was helpful for you. Thanks for viewing me today, and I'll see you in the next reading. Group 3, number 3, welcome to your reading. I'm going to pull a crystal from the remaining crystals in the bag here, and I have the citrine, the more yellow citrine that was associated with the solar plexus chakra. So I'm going to grab another 2 crystals randomly for you, and we're going to channel through those. So we've got the Dalmatian jasper, and I think this is another type of jasper here. I can't quite remember, but I'm pretty sure that's another jasper. So let's see what's going on with your solar plexus here. Okay, this is a big matter of self-confidence here. I'm seeing that just lately your self-confidence has been rocked. It may have been something that was said to you, or maybe there was some sort of trauma in your life, but I'm feeling that your own self-confidence has been rocked, especially lately in the last 6 months. Maybe you've lost your job, or maybe you've had a relationship that has broken up. So I'm feeling that your self-confidence is shattered. Let's see what else I'm getting here with it. Okay, so what they're saying to work on this is that you need plenty of sunshine. So if you live in an area that isn't very sunny, you can actually put some videos up that are of lovely tropical scenes or a sunshiny day, and that will still permeate through to you. For those of you who tend to get affected by seasonal affective disorder, you might want to have your vitamin D levels checked to make sure that they're okay, because I am feeling sunshine quite strongly, but it's going to be incredibly healing for you, sunshine. So whenever you can, get outside in the sunshine. If you're not able to do that because of the weather, then watch something that is sunshiny on YouTube or whatever you happen to like watching. I feel that there may have been past incarnations here with Egypt, just because I'm getting strongly the sun god Ra, and there may be something in whatever happened to you that was quite karmic, and was karma that would need to be repaid from perhaps a lifetime in Egypt. Look, I feel a settling of energy here, and there was a bit of a shock when whatever happened to you happened, but I'm feeling that the energy's starting to calm down now. Your solar plexus and your self-confidence will slowly start to return, and they will come to, pre-trauma levels, whatever this, or pre-incident levels, whatever happened to you. I do have a video on healing the solar plexus, so if that's something you're interested in, or there are plenty others out on YouTube that you can watch, you can do meditations around it. That will certainly help. I feel also getting out with friends and going and visiting friends or doing things with friends. I feel that for some of you, you may have actually, your self-confidence has been shaken so much that perhaps you've not even been confident enough to go out and see friends. And by doing so, they're actually going to reaffirm that you are worth it, and they love being with you, and they're here to help with anything you're going through as well. Because it may have been, maybe you had a friendship break up and you feel that you've lost other friends. But what I'm seeing is that you do have true friends around, and they are wanting to help you, but they're not quite sure what to do. So even just visiting them, getting out of your own space and into their space, will be quite healing for you, very healing for you. So we've got sunshine and friends, and maybe doing some energy healing on the solar plexus with a meditation video or a healing video. Okay, group 3, thanks for viewing me today. If you're drawn to another number, of course, you can go to that video as well. Otherwise, I'll see you in my next video. Welcome group 4. I'm going to draw a crystal from the bag of the remaining crystals, and I've got the crown chakra here. Okay, I'm going to grab another couple of crystals randomly to go with this crystal, and we'll do some channeling around it. I've got a jasper and I've got a green quartz here. I think that's green quartz. Okay, let's have a look what's going on. Okay, I feel like for some of you there is quite an imbalance in your crown chakra, and you may be getting headaches associated with this, or eye problems. For some of you, even hearing problems. You may not have dreamt of anything for a while. I feel like rather than being far too wide open, it's actually the opposite. It's quite constrictive. You might have trouble with imagination and trusting and having faith in things at large, or in the world itself, or even yourself, because it's quite constricted here. Now, for some of you, I feel that this is about to change. Okay, group 4. I apologise, but the recording cut out as I was recording it. So I'm just going to go back here a little bit. Okay, so what I was feeling with this crystal is that perhaps you've had a physical head injury, and this may have happened, you know, a while ago now, and you're still suffering the effects of it. It might have happened 2 or 3 years or even longer ago, and you're still getting quite a few symptoms. I do feel that there is some more you can do for symptom control besides what you're already doing. So if you're traveling the mainstream area for treatment, you might want to add some alternative practices like acupuncture or energy healing or chiropractor in. If you're going down the alternative path, you may have to add some more traditional methods of managing these symptoms in. So having a mix of both of them will actually really help. What I was getting from this crystal is that for some of you, whatever headaches or symptoms you're experiencing may be from toxicity in the body. So either this came really strongly across as plants, green plants, so detoxifying the body and creating a more alkaline space. So maybe there's too much acidity, maybe your liver's under stress and that's throwing off toxins. Maybe you've got an overgrowth of bacteria or fungi in your system that needs to be managed. Either way, Spirit are asking that you just clean up your act diet-wise, eat as close to nature as possible, and include a lot of greens in that. A lot of natural greens, preferable if you grow them yourself because you know the source. If you can't get hold of organic foods, try and eat things as fresh as possible. You can also do some chakra meditations or healing the whole chakra system, and because that just helps move energy around and releases it. So anything that's blocking the energy coming in or out of your crown chakra will also help. I do have a video on that if you're interested, on the crown chakra healing, but there are plenty of other sources on YouTube as well. Okay, group 4, sorry about the interruption. If you liked this content, please subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Welcome group 5 to your reading. I'm going to delve into the bag without looking and pull out the chakra crystal for you. And we have citrine, which is the sacral chakra. I'm just going to randomly grab 2 others. We've got moldavite and we've got, it looks like a bloodstone. So let's have a look at what the sacral chakra wants to say for you and why it needs attention. Oh, there's a distinct lack of creativity in your life. It may have been that years ago you were very creative, and even going back to childhood, you may have been a very creative person, but you've shut that down with the practicalities of life. And it may be that you're in a very busy stage of the life at the moment. You might have young children, or you might be very involved in your career. What this chakra wants you to know is that having unexpressed creativity can lead to physical issues such as conception issues or reproductive issues. And sorry, group 5, it's just started pouring outside. I hope it's not too loud on the camera for you. So because conception and pregnancy is a creative process, and this message is still relevant if you're not female or unable to have children, it kind of impedes the flow of that chakra. So what this chakra is saying to you is, please put aside some of the practical aspects of life and become creative and free-flowing like you were when you were a child. You may have some hobbies that you've put aside that were creative in nature, and this chakra would like you to know that it would like you to take up those hobbies again. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, so for some of you, you've got something that's literally waiting to be birthed. And this may not necessarily be a baby. It may be something that started as a creative spark. You might have always wanted to be a writer or a painter, or you have a great talent for drawing and there is an idea or something creative. You might want to do a YouTube channel, but there's something creative that's waiting to be birthed. And this chakra wants you to put some attention into it because you have been neglecting it for some time. It may have been that you've had a bit of writer's block as such, or a creative block. And so the way to resolve this is to do perhaps some energy healing around this chakra. You can find plenty of those on YouTube. I actually have one on my channel as well. And you can get the energy flowing again. But there's something there that wants to come out and wants to be shown to the world. And it may not be that it's Picasso's next work, but it may just be that it's your expression of you, your creative expression, and it's going to be it's going to have an impact on people. It might not be on a global level, but even locally or within your own family and friends, it's going to have an impact. Some of you, it is going to be on a global level, and it just wants to come out. I feel like it's this divine spark that is sitting in your sacral chakra that just wants to be birthed out into the world. Okay, for others of you, I feel that there is such a complete block in this chakra. There may have been some trauma in this chakra because it is completely blocked and there is absolutely no creativity. You don't have any urge to do anything creative because this chakra is so shut down and just so imbalanced. All right, so what I'm hearing is the birds and the bees. So that can obviously relate to a couple of things here. Obviously can relate to nature and getting outside and seeing how nature works and getting back to the natural roots of things, and maybe the mating habits of insects. And it can also relate to who you are as a human and your sexuality as a human. So because it's completely blocked or completely out of balance, that there's no creative spark there at all, you may need to connect with who you are on a very basic level. Again, what the guidance I'm hearing is to do some energy healing on it. You can either go to a practitioner, or you can find some meditations on YouTube or some healing videos on YouTube specifically for the sacral chakra, or that you might need some trauma counselling if there was something specific that's been an incident. For a very few of you, there is there is an attachment to a past life where perhaps you had a lot of children. Now I mean 16 or 17 children. And in this lifetime, perhaps you've never had kids and you might not be of childbearing age anymore, but that past lifetime is still affecting you, and it has made a big imbalance in this chakra. And there may be some trauma energy attached as well. So you might want to go and seek out, as I said earlier, an energy healer or a sound therapist or a kinesiologist to try and shift this energy along. You may have already worked on it with counsellors, but it's like the energy is stuck there. Overall, I don't feel like this is going to be too hard to shift. For those of you that are hoping to open your creativity a little more, this will just take a few weeks of trying, of dedicating yourself to balancing this chakra on a daily basis. For those of you who have got a bit of trauma stuck in there, it might be a couple of months of regular work on the chakra just to get it spinning again. Some of you in this group may just be enmeshed in the practical side of life and never explored anything creative. Maybe as a child you weren't the creative type, and that's okay, but there is actually creativity here that wants to be allowed out, and you'll get a lot of enjoyment from it. Okay, group 5, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this, please subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Group 6, welcome to your reading. So there are only 2 crystals left, so I'm going to blindly grab one out. We've got the throat chakra. I'm also going to add to it by randomly selecting another couple of crystals. All right, I think we've got bloodstone again and a rose quartz. Let's see what needs attention in your throat chakra. All right, there is an issue around communication here, and you may actually even find in all areas of your life. You might find that you're miscommunicating when you're speaking. You might be a bit tongue-tied. Your emails might not be going to where you want them to go. Your posts are not uploading. Anything that's to do with communication, there may be quite a few blips going on and unusual things. I'm pretty sure as I'm filming this, it's not Mercury in retrograde, but it's giving that type of energy. So there is quite an imbalance here. Now, I feel that there have been angry words said or not expressed. So it could be one or the other. And it's the energy of that. You may actually feel either that you're quite angry at someone but never expressed it, and that is what's causing an imbalance, or you did express something when you're incredibly angry and now you regret it. So either way, it is causing an imbalance in your throat chakra. So this energy just needs clearing, basically. So you can do some energy healing, some sound healings. There are plenty of helpful videos on YouTube. I do have a YouTube healing for the throat chakra if you're interested in that. So there's a lot of things that you can do with that. It's just that energy needs to be shifted. And then you'll find that communication of all types in your life will ease up and will start flowing again. I feel this group, you do have a lot to say and you are very wise with your words. However, sometimes circumstances get the better of you, and you may have said some things that were a little bit harsh. And I also feel that you probably have apologised to whoever you had spoken to, but the guilt of this energy still remains. You might also want to look at balancing your sacral chakra, because they are, there's also a sense of guilt there. So I would like you to maybe look at that too. Okay, let's look at this one here. For some of you, you haven't apologised, and this is what's causing the throat chakra to be blocked. you may have been taught early in life never to admit any mistakes or to feel ashamed of making a mistake. What I'm hearing Spirit saying is it's only a mistake. That's where the word came from. You just took it wrong, or it was not something that's intended. You were not deliberately malicious. It was just a mistake. And you're allowed to make mistakes in life. And that's if that's something that you haven't learned, that's something you may need to bring into your awareness and be considerate of yourself about. You may be a perfectionist and talking to yourself harshly, and it's that even expressing to yourself in thoughts, harsh thoughts, it is going to affect your throat chakra, because you are the best person in your own life, and you need to recognize yourself as that. You're doing the best you can with the circumstances you have, and sometimes things don't go right, and that's just life. Not everything works out exactly how we think it should, because we need to learn lessons. That's why we're here on earth. And also, if you kept doing the same thing every day and you got it perfect every time, there's no learning experience there. There's no way to improve your skills in whatever you do. For maybe one or two of you, I feel that there was a big mistake made that perhaps affected quite a lot of people, and you still run over that in your mind, and it is really affecting your trust in yourself, and you second guessing yourself, not speaking the truth all the time. So what I'm hearing Spirit say about that is, please don't let it get you down. It just needs to leave. You can't change the past. You can only change how you think about the past and express how you think about the past, because it may be that whatever big mistake this was, you've been busy telling the whole world about it, and that may be causing the imbalance because you're reliving it, and you're reliving that trauma every time. It's time to let it go and come back to center. All right. Yes, and look, we've got rose quartz here, and it's time to be loving towards yourself. So, and this goes for all of you in this group. I feel that perhaps you communicate with yourself very sternly and a bit like an angry parent, and you're very harsh on yourself. You may be very kind to other people, but you're maybe not so kind to yourself, and that just needs to be remedied. Be aware of it. Listen to how you're talking to yourself. And you may be literally talking to yourself, looking in the mirror and saying things to yourself. Or, for example, you might be saying, oh, geez, look at your hair today. But that carries an energy. And so then you might get comments of people saying, what's going on with your hair today? Because you are then manifesting a negative association with how your hair looks today. And that's a very simple explanation, but it goes for all areas of your life. And I feel that you are quite a deep manifester, but you're manifesting unkind things towards yourself. And your spirit guides just want to draw you back into your center. And funnily enough, this isn't a heart reading, but it's strongly associated with the heart chakra. And if there is a blockage in the heart, it will overflow into the throat as well, and vice versa. So you may want to have a look at the heart reading as well, or do some energy work around the heart as well as the throat, and around forgiveness of self. Yes, so the angels are just advising you to unconditionally love yourself, no matter what you do or how you do it. At the end of the day, there's no wrong or right, there is just experience. All right. Group 6, that's all I have for you today. If you enjoyed this content, please subscribe and I'll see you in the next video. Okay, group 7, you have the last crystal in the bag, so it's no mystery to me as to what it is. We have the base chakra. Okay, I'm going to grab 2 other crystals randomly just to use with this. So we have an onyx and Herkimer diamond. All right, let's see what your base chakra wants to tell us. So it's trying to fortify itself before. It's really maybe that you're quite ungrounded in life, in the material realm. You may be quite spiritual and very connected to your upper chakras, but there might not be anything going down in this chakra here. There's something specific that needs to be earthed from your crown chakra, so an idea, into your base chakra, so that it can be put into action. Now you might actually relate to group 4 because they had a similar message there. Let's see what's going on. Some of you might be struggling financially because this is the material chakra as well, but I feel that there's something even deeper than that. There's something around how you feel safe in the world that is quite challenged and out of balance at the moment. It may be that you're quite fearful of others. I'm getting a strong sense of that, and that may be conditioning from the past, not necessarily things that you've experienced. Or it may be that there are some things that you've experienced. Maybe you had a very traumatic childhood, and as this is the chakra that develops strongly between the ages of 0 and 7, there could be something from childhood that just would like to be addressed. There is certainly a very strong potential for healing this imbalance, and it is a long-term project. I am going to say that because it really does require you to work at this on a regular basis and be consistent about it. It's not all doom and gloom. As you start to work on this imbalance, you will start to see changes in your life. You might get to the point where you might be gifted something, or money, you're due a big refund on something. You'll see it in those ways. You might win a house. Oh, maybe some of you will. You might win a car. You might win a raffle. When you're at that point, you know that your base chakra is pretty much healed because they're big ticket items. So it'll start showing itself very subtly. You might get $2 off something. This isn't about scrimping and saving and all of that to do with the base chakra. This is about creating a solid foundation on planet Earth. It may be that because you operate in your higher chakras, for some of you, you haven't got that solid base. You might have wonderful ideas and great money-making potential, but because this is a very imbalanced chakra, you can't get to that point. Some of you may find that your house is your sense of stability. And what I'm hearing from your guides is, don't make a thing your sense of stability. It needs to come from within you. Because at any time something can happen, just say, and I don't want to put the kibosh on anyone here, but there have been incidences where people have had their houses burned down and things like that. So when you attach it to an item, and something happens to that item, I'm not going to say it does, I'm just giving an example here, then where's your stability gone? It's completely gone at that point. So the angels are reminding you that you're born with nothing and you leave with nothing, but your stability and the sense of who you are can be housed within your body rather than externally to you. Let's have a look what's happening over here. For some of you, you are really chasing money, and it's great to have that passion and that drive, but what I'm getting with this type of imbalance is it will never be enough and you'll always be chasing. There is some clouded thinking around it because you're not earthed here on planet. You're actually more in your head and you're just chasing. And you may get really frustrated at times because there'll be no consistency in what works. So it might be that you try something, it works really well, but it's short-lived, and then it doesn't work again. Or it may be that you've had something stable for several years and then it suddenly collapses. So it's because you're chasing that money. With anything like that, what the suggestion from the spirit realm is, be a magnet, not a chaser. So be receptive, not a chaser. When you're chasing, it's a sense of desperation. And when there's desperate energy, it repels rather than attracts. Some of you may have lost someone close to you, and that has really shaken your sense of stability. It may be a pet as well that it was very beloved. And what I'm getting with this is that there may be some fear about your own mortality happening at the moment. So Spirit is saying we come to the earth to experience. When you are so scared and insecure within yourself, you avoid experiences. And so you limit what you can actually learn in this lifetime. Now, for some of you, it is because you've lost someone or something very dear to you, and it has really shaken you to the core. But this is also an opportunity to rebuild again with a much stronger foundation and a much stronger base chakra, because the worst has already happened to you. It can't happen again. The overall advice for this is to please connect with Mother Earth. I know that I say this a lot, but this is a message I get so frequently. Get your bare feet on the earth, lie on the grass, lie on the dirt if you can manage it. Really, really ground yourself into the energy of the earth, because it just naturally helps balance the chakra. If you've got addictions, this will really help balance out those addictions and help ground that energy into something that's structured. So some other ways to help with grounding and imbalancing. So some other ways to help with an imbalance in the base chakra is to do some energy work. There are plenty of videos on YouTube. I have a video on my channel on working with the base chakra. There's sound healing, there's kinesiology, there's aromatherapy base notes, there's all sorts of things that you can use. But with this chakra, because it is slower moving and it's a bit of a plodder, it will take 1 to 2 years of regular consistent work for you to be at a place where you're really feeling secure in yourself. But it's the best gift that you can ever give to yourself at the same time. Okay, group 7, that's all there is for today. If you like this content, please subscribe.